Hey gang, welcome to Making Watcher. Quick note before we get into the episode, this first episode will be free on YouTube, but all subsequent episodes will be exclusive to Patreon as well as a bunch of other fun stuff, so head on over there to check that out. But for now, enjoy Making Watcher. Hi, I'm Ryan Bergara. I'm one of the co-founders of Watcher Entertainment.
My name is Steven Lim. I am one of the co-founders here at Watcher Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Shane Madej. I'm a co-founder of Watcher Entertainment. I make some things here, and is that good?
Hi, I'm Ryan Bergara, and welcome to Making Watcher, a series that takes an honest look at how the three of us decided to venture out into the wild and make our own company. Now, this won't be a regular series, but rather a series that we'll produce occasionally as we celebrate successes, learn from failures, and ultimately, and hopefully, grow. But first, how this series came about.
I've been doing like personal vlogs through most of this process. And I mean, honestly, they were just for my own mental health, but it just occurred to me that, it would be nice if we could bring you guys in on that process. Today, I'm gonna ask Shane and Steven if we should do like a behind the scenes kind of thing. I'm going to hide my phone in this, discreetly pitching them this idea. All right, looks okay.
To catch you up to speed, version 2 is out.
What's happening right now is Steven is talking me through a cut of one of our shows that isn't quite working. So, my incognito pitch of Making Watcher will have to wait.
Yeah, it could come out and just be like a bad version of it, and then I would just be like sad and I'd be like, why did we make this company?
It just doesn't work just cutting out of the taste test.
So that right there is Anthony, our creative director of post-production. We'll talk about him more later.
I really think we should make a Making Watcher series, or at least not like a regular series, but just like.
I pitched this show
I know.
6 months ago.
I know.
Holy, I'm so mad right now. Don't say this. I said this.
Here's the thing.
Oh my God.
No, I'm going to explain to you why I think. Shane, could you take your headphones off too?
What just happened when I had my headphones on?
I said we should make a show called Making Watcher. How and why we did this. Do we all agree?
Sure.
We just shoot the interviews next week. I'm just going to go to town on the weekend and cut it.
Sure. Yeah.
Now that being said, I did record this conversation.
Way to go.
Wonderful.
Is this how you are now?
Yeah, I was just curious because I was like, we need some idea of how this got formed. And Steven's reaction was actually way better than I could have ever imagined it would be. Yeah, so we decided to cobble this series together a month before launch. Speaking of cobbled, let's ungracefully segue into some additional context. The three of us met at a media company called BuzzFeed, where we worked and hosted/created shows for almost 5 years. Between the three of us, we created 2 of their top shows, Worth It and BuzzFeed Unsolved, and they were a lot of fun. Personally, some of the best years of my life. But eventually, it was time to move on, so we left, and joining forces to make shows seemed like the natural and horrifying decision. And thus, a little company called Watcher was born. What are you most excited about for Watcher?
What am I most excited about for Watcher?
Yeah, I've never really been afforded the opportunity to really go in on something with my friends.
What I really enjoy about Watcher is building a team and working with people that you care about and being able to, share this experience of making creative projects with other people.
Right now, we're making a bunch of shows with just the three of us to get this whole party started, but the goal and the thing I'm most excited about is all the new faces that we could bring in, the new perspectives and interesting show ideas that couldn't have possibly came from our points of view.
So if we can create a company where people can be fulfilled creatively, I think I've done my job.
Partnering with you guys and creating this company was the most exciting thing I could possibly imagine my career trajectory heading toward. Obviously, it was very terrifying. Now I feel a little less terrified. A little. But we're still a month away from launch here.
Though all the truly heartfelt sentiment was nice, Shane was right. This was still super scary. especially in the beginning. I mean, everything in the early days seemed very conceptual. When you're talking about things that you want to do in an office, which is your own living room, it doesn't seem that feasible or real. And that was tough because it required an insane, almost delusional bit of self-belief.
Shane?
I think we got it.
Yeah.
This is a clip of us shortly after incorporating. We navigated all the paperwork, we have a bank account, there's us at our bank. Our company was official. And then reality set in.
On a Wednesday, I'd be like, you know what? I think we got this licked. I think we're gonna nail this. And on a Thursday, I'd be like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
All the things that I had gotten accustomed to, working for a media giant like BuzzFeed, were things that I now personally would have to provide not only for myself, but for all of my employees and colleagues. And that was stressful.
I feel blessed to have this opportunity. So, if we fail, like if this whole thing caused bankruptcy one day, it's still not the end of the world. I am very happy with how we spend our time.
So we all put personal investment in this.
Yes.
For an undisclosed amount, but let's just say it was a lot.
Yes.
How did you feel when you finally had put in that capital of your own?
I felt nothing. I made myself feel nothing. It's a nerve-wracking thing.
I guess this is a note to future Ryan. How's it going? Today I finally put in the last bit of my own personal investment into this company. It's weird to put that much money into something that is basically just, I guess, me betting on myself and also on Shane and Steven, and that, that we can make this thing work. It's, it's crazy. I'm not really the most eloquent right now. I don't think I have to be, but I guess it's just real now. It's all happening. And at risk of being melodramatic, looking at this clip recalls all the stress and just mental fatigue of figuring out all these new challenges. And what I didn't know at this time was that we were going to need more money, and it couldn't be more of ours.
Plan was to bootstrap from the jump by ourselves. I don't know what this would have looked like if we'd done that. We'd still be in Ryan's kitchen. This may have all just been torn asunder. I don't know that we would have survived.
Well, here's the thing, we could bootstrap it. We still could have done that. And that's just a different business. And I think when we realized and defined what we wanted to do with this company, we wanted to put something bigger than ourselves, bring on other people, create a culture, not just make a bunch of videos and shows. We wanted to build a company of people. And that's when we were like, okay, if we do that, we need to raise money.
First off, could you also even describe what a round is, what raising money is?
Raising money is when you go out to investors and you have a vision. And in order to execute that vision, you need cash. So you bring some investors together, pitch them your vision, and if they want to be on board, they send you cash in exchange for equity, and then you use that to execute to get to the next stage of where you want to be.
We met with this guy named Patrick at a cafe. He had started Rotten Tomatoes as well as a bunch of other successful ventures, and he was giving us advice basically on how we could approach Watcher.
We were like, yeah, we're doing this ourselves. Isn't that crazy? And he was like, what are you, stupid?
Why are you doing that? You could easily, between the three of you, raise all the capital, all the money you need.
The tough thing about doing that is that suddenly now you have to spend a lot of time focusing on meeting with people. But thankfully, Steven Lim, he loves that stuff.
When we decide we're going to do that, at that moment, how much business experience do you have to that point?
None, I don't know. But I do like watching Shark Tank, and I like listening to podcasts about how I built this, with Guy Raz.
And so, the three of us, all with little, or in the case of Shane and I, no business experience, decided to throw our respective hats into the investment ring, hitting parties to network, going to pitch meetings, things we've never done. The first pitch meeting we ever had was with Neuro.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm one of the co-founders of Neuro.
And I'm Kent, and I'm the other co-founder of Neuro.
So we met with them at a coffee shop, just kind of walked them through our bullet slides that we put together.
Our pitch deck was garbage. Our pitch deck being, what's a pitch deck? Steven Lim could probably explain that better. We'll cut to his bite there.
A pitch deck is just a very easy guide to what your company's vision is. And it's for investors to be able to evaluate if they want to invest within a minute or two, or if they want to even take a meeting with you.
What are you doing?
Done. Wait, did it actually send?
Yes. Okay, it's in message sent. Okay, now we wait for all the money to start coming in. Just kidding.
We stumbled and bumbled our entire way through the pitch.
We didn't know what we were talking about.
It's not a good sign when you get stumped by the first question, which is, what is your company? What were you thinking when we were pitching it? Were you like, wow, I feel sorry for these guys? Or was it just like, they clearly aren't that experienced, but they have gusto?
The honest part is, I remember it wasn't fully fleshed out, but you guys had an idea of how you wanted to structure it.
Yeah.
And then it got into, I think we brought up conversations like, okay, so how is revenue gonna work? How are you gonna scale? How are you gonna build your multiple on your business? And it was like, yeah, sipping coffee and there were some aspects that were so cliche first pitch deck. I think, yeah, Venn diagram, this is what exists. This is also what exists.
This is what we can do.
And you know what the funniest part about is? Most of that pitch deck was like the aggregate of Steven talking to a lot of other people in like the tech sector.
Right.
My one contribution to that first pitch deck was the Venn diagram.
But you, granted, in a week or something, you guys fleshed that deck out.
Oh, that deck was amazing.
Looked really good.
Yeah.
And we went back, we really formulated what we wanted to do. We brought on a good friend who helped design our deck.
We designed that, we revisit with Neuro. How do you think that meeting went?
The second one went a lot better because they committed on the spot.
I think it's just you three being the creatives that you are, and then you guys are, have already proven to be super successful at like bringing ideas to life, and we just wanted to be a part of it any way we could.
I think also in the meetings, like there was a very obvious motivation to want to succeed, like on your own. And although, maybe the business side of things wasn't as robust or wasn't as built out based on experience, but the questions that you guys would ask to be like, okay, well, what do I need to do to get the business side up and running? What do I need to do to reach more people? Like that.
I mean, well, you guys have been like super instrumental and not just like, obviously you also invested in the company, but the knowledge you've instilled in us has been, I don't think we could have done it in the early stages without you.
It's just like an honest conversation too, because like we've gone through the same thing. We've had mentors and advisors help us through like the beginning stages.
So we had our first investors, but after momentary celebration, we stagnated. I remember thinking, okay, you get that first investor. I'd also heard you get the first investor, it's like a snowball, baby. Just goes right down the hill, starts growing. And we got that first investor, we threw the snowball down the hill, and it was just dirt, just a dirt hill.
We were going on these meetings, a lot of them were like, well, we don't know if they're gonna invest, we'll see.
And then on top of that, we're also trying to shoot out all the content for the channel. We're trying to shoot out all 7 of our shows before launch and have them edited.
The confluence of all the things that were going on mixed with the fact that I had to create a little puppet theater and finish the scripts and write music for it. I don't know that I've ever been as stressed as I was that weekend before we shot. And then someone who was meant to be a guest on the show canceled the night before, and I cried. I cried tears. I'm a little emotional about it right now because I was like, the amount of stress that had rocketed up within an hour was almost too much to bear. I think that's indicative of the stress of trying to do all of those things at once.
I will say that of the 3 of us, you are the one that has the business mind. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
Steven had been the driving force behind getting investment in the first place. And then at some point he was like, you know what guys, I'm gonna be tapped out for a little bit because I'm just gonna lock into this and focus on this exclusively.
I know that Ryan and Shane are incredible content people. And so I had to make a decision at some point, which was, okay, my job is to make content in addition to doing the business side. But if we don't raise money, the business dies. So I have to actually put aside my job as a content creator for now and go raise money.
Steven Lim just went nuts.
Listening to every podcast you can that teaches you how to do this. Watching every video you can. Stanford posts lectures from other founders that spoke about starting up companies. I listened to every one of them. I read like every article I possibly could. I reached out to every person it was just there's a lot of stuff that is very boring, and that's kind of what any kind of work is. It's like really caring about the small things.
It takes a person who doesn't find that boring, who finds that exciting, to make a company work.
I do really enjoy thinking of creative ways to build a sustainable business.
Yeah, thank God, thank God.
Long story short, it's not easy, okay? And you really have to have a strong vision, a strong team, and a lot of will to just push through moments of tough darkness, you know?
Long story even shorter, Steven did it. We did it. We successfully raised the funding for the company. Steven snapped a photo of us after our last investment meeting. And shortly after dropping the two off, I took this bizarre reaction video.
I think we might be okay.
You would think when you get financed, you would feel a sense of pride, pure happiness. What I felt overwhelmingly was relief.
I didn't know how hard it was gonna be. And that's kind of like the beauty of being naive, is you just jump into stuff and you're stupid and you do it, and it works out because you like committed to it. And I think maybe if we knew how hard it would be, we probably wouldn't do it.
Other than just like the relief of the pitch process, that whole investment period being done finally, the money was also nice, because then that money allowed us to get an office. It allowed us to hire more freelance editors.
When we actually were able to bring on talented people who were also doing great work, we were like, oh, okay, this is fun. We're a company, we're doing it.
Speaking of full-time employees, we were finally able to hire our first, an editor I'd worked with on BuzzFeed Unsolved for years, Anthony Frederick.
My name is Anthony Frederick, and I'm the creative director of post-production here at Watcher Entertainment.
We had been freelancing with you for months when we were creating all these shows.
Yeah.
And we had told you, like, okay, we fully intend to bring you on full-time eventually. What were your thoughts? Like, how did you feel when that happened?
Great. Like, I don't know how, also, this is how I talk. And this is how I generally express myself physically. So I don't know what their read on like my excitement was, but I was very excited.
You're very Sphinx-like, yeah. Because like I will say on the other side of those meetings, I was very much like, this is the most talented editor I've ever worked with. We need this guy. Please be interested. I can't read his face. I don't know if he's interested. Our second full-time hire was a recommendation of Steven. She freelanced with us as a production assistant throughout the summer, impressing everybody she worked with. Brittney Lee.
My name is Brittney Lee, and I'm the production coordinator at Watcher.
When you were working part-time for Watcher, what else were you doing?
Including Watcher's part-time, I was doing 3 part-time jobs. I was a utility at Sony Digital Motion Production Center, and also a PA at CBS's The Talk.
And you're 22.
And I'm 22.
I'm actually curious, and please be as brutally honest as you possibly can. How did Steven pitch Watcher to you?
Producing unscripted, quality content, that like he wanted diversity, like those things, or I think just like little things that I've observed from Steven, and after meeting Shane and Ryan, observing them. And like when I sit in some of the unofficial creative meetings, it's crazy how much thought goes into y'all's decision. Clashing opinions, but like in a good way. We're trying to cover all our options, like all our bases, and then y'all try to like pick the best choice of those options, and not just like a shortcut that you guys are trying to do this right.
Which is like actually why we wanted you on board. If you're gonna distill media into what its purest form is, it's basically just the aggregate of people's opinions. And if the only opinions that are going into it are 3 adult men, it's not gonna always end up being the best piece of content, which is why it's so important to have like diverse opinions, younger opinions, and of course like opinions that are not just male. That's why we always do encourage you to speak up. And this is a very strange thing that's happening right now. You're being asked essentially by your boss to be very transparent and honest to talk about your other boss.
Yeah.
And it's a
yeah.
I just want to point out the stakes here. After 7 long months of working in secret, announce day was upon us. Here we are, the night before, making final adjustments to the trailer that would finally tell the world what we'd been working on. We just re-uploaded the video for the second time to get the end card right.
And Shane is making the thumbnail.
Vectors, baby. Well, Pat, I'm making. People don't use this pen tool, and you know they gotta. I'm not using it masterfully right now. Don't go in too tight.
Why is it public? Just kidding.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude. Why would you do that?
That's right.
Okay, should we watch it to make sure it's good? Did you already watch it, Steven? We're done, right? Send
There
it
it
over.
is.
Shall we send it?
Let's send it over.
Choo choo, hee hee.
Nothing else, right? I can't think of anything else.
I like these little pretzel ones because they
Everyone
look like
take
pretzels, but they're sweet.
One last look at the video details. Oh, I'm okay. I'm about to go get some taco.
Should we cap it off with a subscribe now? Okay. It just feels like there's no ending to it.
Should we put
7
socials
new
on
series,
there?
1 weekly talk show.
Should we add like
I
Instagram.com/We
think
Are
actually he's
Watcher?
right, though. 7 new series, 1 weekly talk show, and then it should say launching January 10th, 2020 on YouTube.
I don't
Look, we're getting. Set this to music from the Social Network, and it'll be like a nail biter. Us making these changes. I think he's right, though.
Shane's montage jokes aside, later that night, after successfully uploading the trailer, we went home, ready for the next morning's announcement of the company. I had trouble sleeping, so I recorded some thoughts. Apologies for the lack of shirt. I didn't know anybody would see this.
I've been a nervous wreck this whole weekend. I don't know how it's gonna go tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. You know, I think I vacillate between thinking this is gonna be a huge success. Everyone's gonna love the trailer. Everyone's gonna love what we're trying to do. And then there's another part of my brain that feels like no one's gonna care. And I've pretty much bet my whole career on something that nobody cares about. But it's all good because I think no matter what happens tomorrow, I know I did my best. I'm working with my best friends. We assembled the best team we could have possibly assembled. We made the best content we could have made. And we did everything the right way. I believe in this. I believe in the concept. I believe in the team. And I believe in what I'm able to do. Whether or not anyone else actually likes it is on them, but I know what we're doing is working. All the shows I'm extremely proud of, and if Watcher is gonna fail, then we're gonna fail together. But I mean, who knows, maybe I'll look at this from a year from now and be like, wow, I can't believe I actually had doubts, and I can't believe I was actually that anxious and fearful. But maybe a year from now I'll look back and be like, yeah, he kind of saw the writing on the wall. Well, I guess we'll just find out tomorrow.
Past Ryan would be happy to know that the announcement was a success. Variety helped us announce, and response online was overwhelmingly positive. And at the time of this recording, we're on track for 100,000 subscribers before we officially launch. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and help us keep building.
Alrighty, it's live. The channel's up. We have 917 subscribers.
Sick.
Ryan accidentally archived his post already.
The button is really close to edit caption, and I feel like there should be, are you sure you want to archive this Instagram post? But apparently not.
Shane, how do you feel? Mr. No Feelings.
I feel very good. I feel relieved.
How about you, Ryan, Mr. Feeler?
I don't know what I feel right now. My head's buzzing. It's really good tape you're getting right now.
Great. All right. Let's see if we have more subscribers. Refresh. 1,000. We hit 1,000.
Wait.
Cool.
Cool.
Killed it.
All right. That's it. Okay. And that is Watcher.
It's December 13th, 2019, or today it's December 13th, 2019.
December 13th, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Good luck.
Good
to
luck for
shoot
us.
this on this day.
Exactly. It's been like 4 days since we announced Watcher.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now?
Monday, when we announced, I realized I think the most excited I've been in my professional life.
I'm super excited for the world to see everything that we've been working on. I mean, we've truly put everything we have into it.
I'm just generally excited. Yeah. Because this might still bomb. Who knows? But at the very least, I have no regrets. We built an amazing team, like the best possible team we possibly could. We built it. We have amazing shows. We have all the support in the world, and now that we've announced, Monday?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's 4 days ago.
Like, it's been really, really, really nice to just have it out there. So, yeah. We'll see.
What do you want this company to be in the future?
I never paused before giving an answer, so that felt weighty. I'd like it to be successful.
It did until you said that, yeah.
I wanted to really mean something to people and give people the chance to communicate things that they can't communicate elsewhere. Yeah?
I want it to be something more than I could conceive of as a possibility right now.
I want Watcher to be a place full of good people that enjoy each other. I want it to be a place where people are happy to go to work. And to know that I helped start that. That would fill me with an immense sense of pride.
To create something that's not a waste of somebody's time.
Yeah.
I don't know, I keep saying excited, like stoked, because that's all I feel. And I know like greater things are gonna come.
What do I want? Okay, so this is a loaded question. I think I could answer it with many different hats. Like, is this pitching Steven coming out, to investors? What I want it to be? Is this like Steven journaling Steven want to come out?
I would say, pretend you jumped into a time machine. You jump into the future. The first person you see is your future self, and you ask future Steven where the company is at. What do you want future Steven to say back to you?
The company has a rock solid business model, sustainable. We've hired amazing people, and we've invested in those people. That is probably how I'll know we've been successful. The company runs on integrity. We constantly try to do the right thing. We try to represent people really well of all cultures and backgrounds, particularly for me, Asian Americans, but also want to bring on more perspectives. And that, the people at this company care about each other as people and not as tools or as like machines, right? Like, we are a company of people, and that is number one here. So whether or not your show has 1 billion views or 10 views, success to me is defined by the culture that we've built here, and the fact that people can say, I proudly work at Watcher, and I would recommend it to anybody else. So, yeah.
I think that's...
You nailed it.
I think that's that, right? Is there anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I think that's it. I think hopefully the next time we do one of these Making Watchers, because we are going to be doing these periodically, it's not going to be a regular show here, but we will update you and try and be as transparent as we can be, at least on the behind the scenes process of making this company, where we want to go, where we're at, where we were. Till next time, that's my sign off move now, double guns.
Cut.
Yeah, here we go.
All right.
So I got to get the proper height so that it doesn't roll into his mouth with too much velocity. Is Anthony gonna put it on top?
Are we leaving space, or am I hitching this onto my lower lip?
It's more fun if it drops in. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm actually a little nervous. Can you?
Okay, I'm not quite.
Okay, send it down.
I think it can go down this way. All right.
Whoa! Nope.
Alright, here we go.
Oh!
Hey, Anthony's here. This is an office.
He keeps
What, you got a bag of peanuts over there? What's that noise?
Anthony keeps coming in with various crinkly objects. He came in earlier with a baguette.
Hey, my tambourine got here.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. My harmonica just got in.
You guys like rain sticks?